What up brothers, it's Clipper King returning for another new review to my channel. As you can see, the figure in front of us is the Damn Toys Gangsters Kingdom Side Story Saxon. Now that takes some saying because it's a whole lot of S's. I've had to practice it about 6 times, but we've got it said. So let's crack her on. I'll show you the figure and tell you that this review will have been eagerly awaited by a limited amount of people in the Facebook group I'm a part of. That's the 1/6 scale views and reviews group. If you're not a member already, please send a request. It'll be in the description box below, and I will add you. And then when you start adding links to new sunglasses and shoes, I can quickly delete you. Just fucking about, that's what does seem to happen daily in this group, but I digress. Let's crack onto this review. Most of you guys know I have been collecting this line now for a while. Luckily enough, I did get both exclusives this year, and I didn't have to pay too much over the odds for them, and I will thank the guy that sent me this one like I did with the last. So it's good to have friends abroad because they will look out for you, so bear that in mind. I will also tell you my thoughts as regards to what I think is happening with the line. I will also show you this guy in a different outfit, how I would picture him as a younger man on a bank heist, just using some of the bits and bobs I've got. And also I will do a quick video, a quick section on the end showing the full setup, and I will mention what I think each figure is worth, because I'm getting asked more and more, can you tell me which figure will release first, how much it costs, what should I be paying for it? I'll tell you my thoughts on it and I'll put it on the end of this video. So I'm going to pretty much rush through this review. Well, not rush through it, I don't want to miss out still, but I don't want it to be like 50 minutes, an hour, so to speak. So let's crack straight on. Massive thanks to Kitchen, the guy who sent me this. I got in touch with him, found his name through Facebook. He said he would have some to sell. I got in touch, how much? He told me, and it was the fairest price I got. I had been told about $300 at one point, and I thought, fucking not happening. I'm not paying that for it. It is only a secondary character. I'm not paying that for it. You've got to have a price in your mind, what you're prepared to pay, and don't waver on it, because when you start wavering, you push it up for everybody. I had a thought in my mind what I thought it were worth. Bearing in mind, I knew what it cost at the show where it were released, the China Toy Fair, and then I set in my mind, well, obviously I've got to put postage on top of that. Somebody's got to go and get it, so on and so forth. But I'll talk about that more in the value. So, source material. Well, before I do that, like I said, massive thanks to Kit Chen. It was nice dealing with him. A pleasure to deal with. Good contact. The price were very fair, and he did send it anywhere as good as his word. So respect to the man, and I hope to do business with him again in the future. So massive shout out to him. So introductions and thank yous out of the way. Let's crack on to the review and talk about the source material. Now again, on these Gangsters Kingdom figures, the source material is pretty much what the box tells you. This in shorthand, I suppose, is Saxon grew up with the King of Spades. We don't know the King of Spades' name as yet, but we understand that he's Jay's dad. He grew up as they started eradicating other groups, and the ambition of both started to grow. I think the King of Spades pretty much forced him out of the gang and had his family killed. Set him up, got him locked up, which is pretty much why you see the convict outfit. One size fits all. So that is the backstory. Before he went to jail, I understand that he hid a cache of diamonds and gold. The Spades then found out about that. So later in life, after being diagnosed with cancer, they came to him with an offer. If you tell us where the stash is, we'll have you released and you can live your life in comfort. He pretty much, no, fuck you, you've had your chance to do this all my life. I'm now on my deathbed, you want to help me? Well, I don't want to be helped by you. So the last thing the box tells you is his dying wish basically is to have a meeting with the Diamond Gang, where he's probably going to give him the cache of diamonds and gold and set a war in motion. So that is the source material that I know. Like I said, if you read the box, it goes more in depth than that, but I just wanted to do a passing feel for it. Each one of these boxes does give you a backstory for each character, and I really do like that about it. So the source material, I will say as well, and I'll show you in the packaging, there is a comic book inside this, so we'll have a flick through that and give the guys who haven't received the figure a chance to see it. I do like the source material on all these. Like I've said before, it plays in my mind. I'm building stories constantly, and it is I don't know, it invokes my imagination, so to speak. So there's no stronger tool than that. Then, like I've said before, just watching a film and saying, yeah, I'd like a really cool representation of that. That's sometimes good as well. Talking about the Dread figure, which recently came out and I've just reviewed. Sometimes it's good to get that, but also sometimes it's good to get something that don't really have a, I don't know, an immediate representation, and you're building the character in your mind. I do like that, and that is why I'm going to score the source material yet again on one of these Gangsters Kingdom figures a 5 out of 5. Just to quickly talk about the pose, it doesn't bring much, and he is pretty much, like I say, convict, so you're limited as to what you can do. But I've got him with the ankle cuffs on, got him with the handcuffs. He's just rocking Scarface's cigar, and he's just stood there pondering. So that is the first pose. I hope you like it. Let's roll on to the packaging. Rolling on to the packaging, and this always takes quite a time on these figures because there's a lot to mention. First things first, the cover artwork. As you see, again, it's uniform but different to the rest of the guys. Anybody who's seen the other boxers will know. If you haven't, check out some of my other reviews on this line and you'll see what I mean by it. You could display them all together. They're all the same size. They have the very similar setup as regards to the head in profile. They would normally have the gang that they come from, be it Spade, Diamond, around the head. This one is a side story, so he's not a member of any gang, so he just comes with a circle around the face in profile. Moving down, his name, obviously Saxon, and then the line it's from. And to the side again, good artwork, the serial number, which is the number, Gangsters Kingdom, I think that's Sideshow 001. Now that tells me that we're going to see some other side story figures along the way, which, if I'm honest, I like in one way, but I hate in another, because they've already got 50 odd characters to go at if they give one to every playing card, and on top of that, they're doing exclusive variants and side story characters. We might end up with 500 fucking pieces from this line, which, if anybody can store all them, they're a better man than me. So like I say, I do like it because we are going to see pretty much every actor we can think of, but we're also going to have to spend a lot of money to complete them all. Moving up, again, I really like the artwork on the back. Somebody pointed out, actually, the other day, that the artwork is very reminiscent of the Hellboy artist, and I can't remember his name. Is it Magna? Oh, I can't remember. Sorry, I should have done my groundwork for review. And I do see it, but I also see some of the artwork from the early Grand Theft Auto games. And I really like it. Really heavily stylized, but really, really cool looking. The sticker, the exhibition Damn Toys, like I said, it came from the Chinese Toy Fair, which made it hard to get, but I suppose it's a scalper's dream come true when they can keep getting these figures that the rest of us are going to find hard to get. I don't know how limited it is, I don't know what the run were, and I don't know how true that is, because I understood that the variant of J were 1 of 300. Now I don't know if that's the case. Something new on this box is it has a magnet on both sides. The front comes off and becomes, sorry, turn it upside down, and it becomes a prison backdrop. So that is a nice touch. In fact, we'll put short pause in there. I'll display the figure in front. As I say, that's the photographer's dream come true, and I'm thinking Dean Knight and others. Ready-made backdrop, so you can get your shots in without having to put your pause on your Blu-rays or whatever to get the scenery you need. So yeah, nice touch for that, and a new thing for the box lids, so to speak, and I know that the Diamond 3 also brings that, so another good idea, and it shows that Damn Toys, they're growing in confidence and they're going from strength to strength. We'll get back to the packaging and get the figure out of the way. Now normally this bio would normally be on the inside of the lid, but obviously because the lids are now removable, I'm understanding that we're going to get the backstory inside here, and then normally you would have a playing card there, but like I've said, this is from a side story to the Gangsters Kingdom. It wouldn't bring a playing card because he hasn't been given one. So let's move down, and I can tell you this is the source material. I'll move down slowly so you can read if you want. I'm not going to start reading it to you. Basically the story I told you, but obviously a longer version. Really cool, and you can also find all these backstories online. If you go to Sideshow Freaks, I started a thread for the full line of Gangsters Kingdom, just to build a bit of buzz around them, and people are doing really well and making me proud because they are adding to it, and it's a really interesting thread, I've got to say. But like I said, so it is slightly different to the box I've seen before, but no less cool. I really love it, and I'm going to give the packaging a 5 out of 5. Before we roll on to likeness, little segue, this was also included with the packaging. As you can see, it's just about an 8 or 10 page mini comic book story, and I'm going to flick through it because some people have asked, and I just think it's better that I show them these pages, and then they can decide if it's something that would interest them, and it makes the value of the figure any more so. So again, really nice artwork. As we see, front cover. Turn it over. I will say it is really nice, thick paper. Try and show you inside. There you go. The shot from the back of the box, if you want to read it. Again, it is black and white inside. Moving down. This story, I'm guessing, it will back up the theme of the figure. I'm quiet because I don't want to interrupt you while you're reading. I did want to show this. If you're not interested, you can always fast forward past it, but some will be. Ooh. Pretty hard to do this left-handed, I've got to say, even for a professional like Uncle Clipper. So yeah, I'm not as perfect as you all say I am. I do have some flaws, not many, but I do have some. And then that's the inside of the back cover, which then shows that. So, nice touch. Like I said, I think they could all include that in the future. If they did, it would be a nice little extra. I just hope it wouldn't push the price up. But like I said, to say what I said before, the packaging, I gave a 5 out of 5. Moving on to likeness. And before we roll on, look at the pose. Pretty much got his middle finger up to the screws. He's like, fuck you guys, I'm here because I choose to be. You can't hold me. You can't contain me. Got his cuffs undone, just hanging off his finger. Like I say, just flipping bird. I decide, yeah? I decide why I'm here, not you. That's what he's saying. So, moving in to the head sculpt. I'll try and capture it, yeah? Everybody pretty much nailed it with the early guesses. Ed Harris, or caricature of Ed Harris, and I think they've captured it really well, and it fits the character really well. So an aging gang member, just rotting in prison, and they've got him really nice. And this time with the grey hair, a receding hairline, really deep dimples and wrinkles. So yeah, very nicely done. I've said before on these, they don't really matter to me what they look like or if they look like anybody in particular, as long as they all fit in line with each other and the character of the sculpt fits the outfit that it comes with, then that's good enough for me. When I give a score, I'm sure some people say, how can you give it a 5 out of 5, which is what I'm going to give it, when they say there's no immediate comparison. I think if you can tell in something so cartoony as that, the actor that it's tipping its cap to, like I said before, Ed Harris in this instance, so to speak, then I think the sculpt's got to be good. And I will say, and I've said it in every one, just because the sculpt is cartoony, the paintwork is really subtle and top-notch. And I will say as well, this one looks like it's actually got plugged eyes because the surround around them look really, really deep set. I'm struggling to get the lighting because of the deep brow. But the eyes, really, really neat. And again, like I said, the subtle colours through the skin tones. In fact, you can see a slight stubble on his chin. Really, really well done. So like I said, can't really show you much more than that. Just trying to get you every angle. Move you around. Like I said, the likeness again for me, I can't compare it like picture for picture with with the character because the character doesn't exist, but I'm still giving it a 5 out of 5. And I do like that pose because it says pretty much everything I want it to say without the use of words. Rolling on to his outfit. Just move up and down him first. Pretty much just got him up and down so I can show how the outfit lies on him, and also that with the undershirt pushed up you really do see his jailhouse tats, which is symbolic to the character. I'm going looking head down, looking pretty badass for an old dude. He ain't got there because he's a weakling, he's fucking hard as nails, you know it. So yeah, right, pretty much like I said, you get a white undershirt which you can have sleeves down if you want to cover the sort of the wrist pegs, or if you want to see the tattoos, which I think on this one is a good idea, very in character to see them, you just push the sleeves up and then it still covers the elbow pegs. So yeah, nice touch. And then above that it pretty much has the prison one piece, nice shade of like a tangerine orange. Nothing on the back, which I was a little bit shocked about because I thought they would have put some kind of cartoony symbol on the back, something penitentiary or whatever, but they never. The only graphics on the outfit is his number. Now I will say a little bit disappointed with this because the one at this end is peeling off and also the two at this end is peeling off. It's not a massive nitpick, but I think it's a simple enough uniform to start with, so for him to fuck it up is a little bit of a surprise. I don't know if they've just not ironed it on correctly, but I don't know. I'm assuming, well, I could be wrong here. This might be the release date, because it's 2014, 10th being October, and the 1st. I could be wrong, but that's what I thought it were. Just so, because I think everybody's got the same number on the chest, and if it is the case that it is the release date, that could be pretty cool. So it does have working pockets on the chest and at the side, the elastic section there, and it does zip up the front. So it is nice, but it's not, I don't know, it's pretty hard to get it wrong, I suppose. The boots again, oversized and cartoony looking, but also really, really well sculpted and awesome paintwork, because it has like the hobnail end with the scuffing on. And again, the really thick tread. I used to actually have some Caterpillar boots that were very similar to them. So, just thought I'd say that. I know it's no relevance to you guys, but I'm just telling you. Again, I like the fact that the catsuit or the one piece, whatever you want to call it, overalls, does look baggy. And then when his ankle chain's around him, it just that fits it all inside and it looks nice. So it's pretty good. Like I said, the transfer pisses me off a little bit because it's pretty hard to get it wrong, I suppose, yet they still did. And also, I've seen all the other Gangsters Kingdom figures, and Damn Toys' tailoring is awesome, second to none. So the fact that I don't know, that there's not much to this, there's no spare outfit, because they could have had like some kind of sports jacket or something as if he'd just been released from prison or whatever, just to change your outfits, but they never. So that pisses me off a little bit. So on the outfit, like I say, the fact it's not that intricate and the stuff's peeling off, I'm only giving it a 3 out of 5. Rolling on to articulation, and I've pretty much told you all this before. Before we crack on, show you the pose. You're on the DX11 Joker's chair. Pretty much just sat in an holding cell. He's waiting for a visit. You don't know who's going to be visiting him, but I'll show you it next one. Not really much I can say that I hadn't said before. These stock Damn Toys bodies are really good. They're probably not as robust feeling as a true type, but all the joints are there. Nice ratchet on the shoulders, takes his shoulder joints up and down. I have heard from a few people that their feet are very loose. I will say on this one, that's not the case. Nice and stiff, and he can stand up without a stand. Double bend knees, rotation at the top of the legs, standard waist rotation, ab crunch, double joint elbows, good articulation through the shoulders, good articulation in the lower neck, no articulation at all in the upper neck because it is a sculpted head and neck, which I like on these. The hands swap on and off really easily because every hand comes with its own stem. It's just a matter of pull the stem out and then pop in the next hand. And like I say, it just works. The body fits the character, the proportions, really good. I have seen sort of an early prototype shot of one of the upcoming figures, and they've gone to, I don't know if it's a fatter sculpted body or a standard body with a cushion bodysuit on, for the one that kind of looks like, I forget his name, John Goodman. There's a character that resembles John Goodman, so we'll see if it is a different body or, like I say, a body with a fat suit. Either way, if it is the same, that's all good because the body just works for me. The articulation is good, and like I said, the lines that you get do stay in theme with the head sculpts because they are very cartoony. So I will give the articulation on this one a 5 out of 5. Look at him, just chilling. He don't know what's about to come. He'll find out, don't you worry. Rolling on to extras. What's happening here? Looks like somebody's had a light in the face, some kind of interrogation going on. I don't know. You can see his shackles are off. You see his spare hands are down there, and got Joker's DX11 table art. What's going on? Somebody's getting fucking interrogated, alright. Jay's paid him a little visit. He's like, Saxon, you old fuck. Where the fuck's the gold and diamonds? Fuck you, Jay, I'm dying anyway. Pull the trigger, you fucking prick, you. That's what's happening. Something like that. Words to them effect. He's got him bit air. He's pulling him back on his chair, look. Nearly tipping him over. And put that fucking gun in his mouth and blow his head off. Tell me where they are. Tell me where them gold and diamonds are. Family gets to know. You two fucks about your family. I'm talking to Diamond family. Now kill me or fuck off. That's what's happening. That's exactly what is going down there. Now, let's talk about extras. I had to pull a pose off like that because, you know what I mean, don't bring a lot of stuff with you. Obviously the figure, no brainer. I had to have it, but I'm going to talk in a minute about line completing and what that brings. So he brought the ankle cuffs and the wrist cuffs. I will say probably both sets are the best sets on market that I've seen. They are metal, really well done. They do lock into place, as you can see. It does have the sort of the ridges on it, so it will click into place. Really, really nice touch. Then on top of that, he has the middle finger left hand, the right hand for holding something, the tattoo on the finger, the fisted right hand, and then the trigger right hand and an open left hand, which he's got on at the moment. So not a lot of stuff. So what more could he have had? He could have had a stand, although they don't bring stands, so I didn't really expect one. Could have had a change of clothes. I don't know, maybe a jailhouse shiv, maybe some pool balls in a sock. I don't know, something just to pad out the box. Now, in fact, I'll score the extras and I'll tell you, because it only brings spare hands and probably if you include them as one thing, it's one accessory, it's not a lot, so I can only fairly give it a 2 out of 5. If I'd have given it any more, I'd have looked biased. Maybe it could have brought a chair, who knows, just something else, but they never. So like I've said, on the accessories, I have only given it a 2 out of 5. I'll just show you again the pose. I'll cut out and we'll talk value. Right, rolling on to value, and to sum it up, before I do, let's move out, show you his new pose. This is how I picture him as a young man. He's out on a bank heist, probably with King of Spades, before things went south. Got his jeans on, look, some nice work boots, military jacket, and he's rocking his revolver. Iced man. Got his pimp cap on, looking like Huggy Bear, beautiful. And he's got a satchel full of dollar bills, or gold, or diamonds, whatever, you decide. So, that is what I was saying. They could have given you another outfit either before he went to prison or when he got out of prison, whatever. But they never. But that is the beauty of why I would always collect these figures, because the head sculpt and the body alone is probably worth the price of getting them, and then you're just building up a collection of extra stuff. Now, I probably would always display them with the convict gear on, because that fits the story, but there is an option to swap out these other figures that you can build. So you know I put that outfit together for the Clipper figure that I've got. but it will work for any of them. And I think that's looking pretty sweet. He's just running away from FBI. Beautiful. Anyway, value. When I ordered the figure, I couldn't wait for it to come because they were like, oh yeah, I've got another one, I've got another exclusive, wait till it gets here. It got here, and it got it the same day as the Art Figures Dread, which it pretty much failed in comparison, if I'm honest, because it were a figure that I bought out of necessity, other than the fact that I really, really wanted it. I've never completed lines in the past. When you complete lines, there's always going to be figures that you don't really want, but you get them for the sake of it. Be that Coulson with the Avengers, or I don't know, an Alfred with your Batman setup or whatever. You don't really want them, but you feel obligated to get them. That is how I felt with this figure. The other thing that pissed me off a little bit was the show price was £60. Now, fair enough. If you want to get it show price, you've got to go to show. Now, us in the West, I suppose you could say, you're never going to fly to China to pick up a figure. It's just not going to happen. So you need somebody to pick it up for you. Now, I don't mind paying a middleman to pick it up for me and then ship it, as long as they're fair about it. If it comes to a situation where you're either paying or they're telling us the limited numbers and to get it you've got to pay other odds, then I say fucking keep it. Fair enough, yeah, it is released in China, it's yours to do what you want with, but at the end of the day, if you're dependent on money from the West, then we're gonna have to negotiate prices. That's how I feel. And I've actually spoke to Anthony about this, because he says he can see them in Hong Kong popping up and they're going to be costing like 160, 170. For me, at 160, 170, that's pound, I would leave it, because I don't think it's important enough, so to speak. I've bought it because I fell into that trap where I want to get them all, so to speak. And off the back of getting the variant of J, I don't know, you feel a little bit bummed by it. Like I said, and I've been lucky. The price I paid for this were really fair to Kit Chen. The price I paid for the J variant were also really fair. In fact, I paid stock plus shipping on that, and I can't thank the guys strongly enough for who got it. But like I said, if it's going to get silly money, same with the J variant, then I'd pass it by. If you've got the original J, then I don't know. I can't really support them. Keep churning out these figures and side story figures if they're not going to include all, unless you can get them stock price. Now, I didn't get it stock price, but I didn't pay much of odds. So the value, I'm only giving it a 3 out of 5. Now, these figures pretty much go for, if you can get them local, they go for between 85 and 95 quid. If you're going to be buying them from Hong Kong, they're going to be just over that, obviously, because somebody's got to pick it up and somebody's got to ship it. You've got shipping on top. Now, the trade-off is, do you want it fast or do you want it cheap? That's what you've got to decide, and then you get the price that you need to pay to get it, so to speak. So like I said, on value, I'm giving this one a 3, which takes the total amount up to 28 out of a possible 35, which again is a really good score. But I figured out these are always going to get a good score because I like the packaging, I like the source material. So you've got 10 points straight off there. So they're not really falling down on any major categories other than extras sometimes. So I don't know, some would say it's biased, but like I've said before, my reviews are just my opinion, and if they tie in with yours, then so be it. If they don't, then I can't worry too much about that. So like I said, that's the score I've given it, a 28 out of a possible 35. Massive shout out to Kit Chen for sending it me. Would I buy it again? Probably, but only for this price. If he'd have wanted £5 more than he asked, then I wouldn't have bought it. That's the honest truth. So now I'm going to put him back in his outfit. I'm going to put the figures back in the cabinet one at a time, and all you novices, I'm going to talk you through who is who and what you should expect to pay for him, and I want to do it as quick as possible. Right, this is for the Gangsters Kingdom novices. Just try to bring you up to speed, simply because I've been asked about 3 times this week and I don't want to have to keep typing the same thing. So, let me introduce them. I'll do them as released and tell you what they would go for, what you should be looking to pay. Right, firstly, this is Ogier, and he's the Jack of Spades. Like I've said, that is his rank. That's... he would probably be the son of the King and Queen of Spades, if that's in my mind. That could be wrong. There is reviews for all these figures, so check through my channel if you want to see more. This one was the first release, as I say, and to get it now, if you can get it for somewhere between £250 to £300, that is about as good as it's going to get, simply because there's none around. I think a lot of them got recalled because the cap does that to the forehead. So bear that in mind. Some did go back. I will say though, there is a third-party head on the market which is identical to the original head. So that is a third-party head. My original J head is mint condition. So yeah, like I say, you're looking at about 250 quid, 300 quid for that. It's rare as shit, and whoever's got it never seems to want to sell it. So that was the first release. The next release was Nelson, the Two of Spades. I will say at this point that all my decals on my stands, they are all Hot Toys generic stands that you have to buy, and then the decals or stickers are from Joe Turner. He can be found on my Facebook friends. Also, I will link him in the description box below because I'm getting asked a lot about the decals as well. And Joe, if you're watching, pal, I must be nearly into free decal fucking territory. Business I'm sending you recently, I should be getting freebies by now. So, moving up. Check out the outfit. Check out the head sculpt. As I said, again, same as the original J figure. Quite rare now. This not quite as rare as J, but getting up there. No problems with it as such. Some people say that the jacket sometimes comes too weathered. Mine isn't. Mine's just about right. So I don't know if I looked at or I managed to buy it off somebody who looked after the figures. For a Two of Spades, I would think you've got to be looking somewhere now between 200 to 230. If you can get one in that bracket, again, that's what you should be expecting to pay. Very rare, very sought after, and people who get them don't seem to want to sell them. I would check as well, when I reviewed Wyman's version of this, his legs had gone quite loose. This one isn't. This one's nice and tight. So if I were buying a J or a 2 now, I would be asking that the body's nice and tight. Because I think that over time, a lot of posers might make them quite loose. So yeah, that's the second release. The next release, and this one might throw some people out of whack, was actually not even an official Gangsters Kingdom figure. It was actually released as one of Damn Toy's military figures, but they put this style head on it. And it was actually called the DevGru Red Team. So there is a review on the actual figure, but I used the head and body for a custom figure that I wanted to myself. I got 3 outfits for it. If you look at a video of mine called The Introduction, I'll show you this figure in depth when I customised it. I pretty much made it one of the Gangsters Kingdom. And then to bring him in line, I called him Clipper and a gun for hire. So he's not in with any gang. It's a figure I really made myself. But like I said, the head sculpt and the body is official Damn Toys. It were the limited edition last year at the either Singapore show or the China show. Very hard to find. You would be paying about 200 quid now for the complete figure, but I will say there used to be somebody was selling them on eBay and they just got the head sculpt with the Damn Toys body and the hands. You could get that, but that on its own were about 120 quid. If you want the complete DevGru Red Team, you're going to be paying about 200 quid for it, and then once you've got it, you can pimp it out how you see fit. As you see, that was one of the outfits. I did him also with a puffer jacket and some khaki trow, and I also did him with the jeans and the military jacket that you've just seen on the Saxon figure. So again, about £200 to get the DevGru Red Team. The next release, we're going back to official releases, and it is the Bernie, the Three of Spades. So as we move up, try the outfit and the head sculpt. Now this I would guess is probably sold through at your local sellers. It's been out probably, I would say 10 months, something like that. So yeah, I don't think you're going to get it at the retail price, which were about £90, £95. But I think you can still like find them quite easily on eBay or from Hong Kong sellers. And I'm thinking you're going to be paying about 120, maybe 130 on it now. But again, still really, really good value for the figure and the stuff that it brings. This one actually brings another head sculpt with the balaclava on as well. So this one was really good value. But like I said, I would be thinking somewhere between 120, 130 now for the Three of Spades. The next one was Chad, the Four of Spades. Oh, show you. It does come with a big leather jacket as well, but I choose not to pose it because it kills the articulation. Again, really nice figure. been out probably between 6 and 8 months, I would think. Again, quite a good set, good value for money. Probably, again, will have sold out through your local retailers. So, again, be expecting to pay about 120 to 130 on this one. Very similar to the 3 of spades. Quite easy to find on eBay. So, yeah, that is what you would be paying on the 4 of spades. Next one released, we jump from the Spade Gang to the 2 of Diamonds. We started a new group, and this is Alga. As I move up, show you, really nice figure again. This one I would think you can possibly still find them at local retailers. Somewhere, if in England and Wyman had one left, it would be somewhere in the region of, I would think 95, 100 quid, something like that, and then obviously shipping on top. Hong Kong, again, you're probably going to be paying 110, 120. This is, I think it's still available, but it'll be selling out quick because this is a really, really nice one, and it did score very well with a lot of collectors, this one, where I suppose the 3 and 4 of spades, they weren't everybody's favourite. This is a really, really nice one. They're all really nice ones to me, but this one were more favourable. So yeah, that one, the next one released, you're going to be looking at 120, 110, 120, I think would be a fair price on it. Right, the next actual release, although we'd seen some pre-orders before that, I've just mentioned the pre-orders that we've seen so far are the 3 of Diamonds, which is the Danny Trejo, which is releasing, I think, this week in Hong Kong. You should be looking to pay again. If you're getting it from Hong Kong, I'm thinking around 120. If you can get it from your local seller still, probably about 90, 95 quid. That's the Danny Trejo, and that is the 3 of Diamonds. They also then showed us the 5 of spades. No, sorry, they showed us another version of J, who you see in front of here, but it's the Memories version. So it's another variant of J, and again, that one should be due out probably back end of this month or next month. Again, if you can get it from your local retailer, probably about 95 quid. If you're getting it from Hong Kong, probably 110, 120, I would think, with the shipping, obviously. And that looks a really nice one, the Memories version of J. It comes like an Hitman outfit. And then they showed us the 5 of spades, which is Jude Law, pretty much in a sniper outfit. That looks a good set also. Now, I will say on the 3 of Diamonds and the 5 of spades, there is also 100 variants that are secretly packaged in that. If you drop on one of them, then you pretty much looked at, because it'll be big value, because they'll be hard to find for the die-hard collectors. So that is where they showed us pre-order. They also then showed us this, which is, again, the Auger Jack of Spades, or Spade J, colour variant, it were called, and it is for those people, I think, who missed out on the first version. They just released it again, but what they did is they only released 300 worldwide and made it a fucking scalper's dream come true. Now, I was lucky to get it at not scalping price. I got it stock price, luckily, because I got to know somebody who were at the Singapore show. So I looked at, if you want to buy this on eBay, you could pay any amount. I'm thinking minimum about 200 quid, maybe going up to 300 quid. Again, it's really rare. A lot of people want it. J is the key character, so you're going to want one at J versions in your collection. I actually now prefer this to the original, but the Memories J looks really good, but that, like I said, is not out yet. So again, that was the next one released, and you're going to be looking somewhere between 200 and 300 quid for it, I would think, if you can find it at all. And then, like I said, the last release, another exclusive, but this one to the China Toy Fair, is the Saxon. Like I said, he don't come from a gang. He's a sideshow, a side story figure. We might see more. I suppose he is a good inclusion, but again, if they'd have released it to the general public and we could have all got it for 60 quid each, then it'd have been nice. Paying round double, I'd say maybe get a swerve. I don't know. I do like having it, but again, I wouldn't miss it if I didn't. So again, price on that, I don't know what you're going to be paying. I'm thinking people are going to be wanting 160, 170, 180. I would say don't pay that. Stand your ground. I would be trying to talk them down to the 130 mark. I think that is more than fair for a figure that we know costs £60. Sorry to any sellers who don't want me to say that, but I'd sooner piss a few sellers off but make a lot of buyers happy. So that is what I think. So that is a full setup, looking sweet, but very overcrowded. If you're going to start collecting these, one thing you'll need in abundance will be space. But that's another review done. I hope you've liked that end credit interlude, just so I can introduce you again to the gang. Like I've said, everything in my collection is now reviewed. Please go through and have a look. My subscribers are flying up at the moment and I'm buzzing for it. But like I say, I hope that you are all out there watching my stuff as well. Because fucking AdSense is not going to fill its sen up, is it, boys? So don't forget to watch my adverts and all, motherfuckers. Just fucking about. Another review done. But for now, it's Uncle Clipper and Saxon, and we are out of here.